Good morning, everyone, and thank you sorry for the little delay. Due to some inconveniency, we have started this webinar little late, but thank you for your patience. On behalf of Parul University, I welcome you all on this webinar talk on the topic of scheduling practices and procurement process in construction projects. As the construction industries are growing fast, advancements are taking place and we require properly managed projects. Looking to this scenario, we have kept this topic for our today's webinar. And to talk on this topic, today we have invited our prominent alumni, Mr. Zekrullah Kochai, who is from Afghanistan, to deliver the talk and to share his experience on the particular topic. Let me introduce Mr. Zekrullah to all of you. He is a construction planning engineer, former project management technical assistant in Ministry of Public Works, Afghanistan, and currently he is working as planning engineer in MBL International Group. He has 8 years of experience in managing and implementing the construction projects. He has done his bachelor's from Kabul, and as I said that he is the alumni. So he has done his master's in construction project management from Parul University, and to his forte, he has recently certified as project management professional PMP by Project Management Institute USA, and he holds the certificate for candidate of scheduling professional certificate. So I welcome Zekrullah Kochai to present his experience, share his industrial exposure, and give the related talk or the details about scheduling and construction project. And as alumni, we always welcome our students to share the platform. So Zekrullah, the platform is yours, and here is the presentation.
Okay, yes, good morning again. Good morning, everyone, on this webinar. As you introduced me, thank you. I'm Zekrullah, and happy again to see Parul University staff and students and whoever participated in this webinar. And I'm very happy to share my experience, especially with the students of the construction management or all civil engineering departments. Happy to share experience. So today I will share my general experience in the presentation I prepared. It is general presentation. What we are doing in construction project related to the schedule and the procurement, and what is the requirements from the clients, from all the stakeholders in the project related to the schedule. So this time we will share our general experience. Since we have limited time, we are not able to go with detail. So I will focus on general, and I am happy, and I will show my commitment for continuous coordination and help for next webinars and on some details. Let's see what the participants want. So we will go later on next webinars on detail. For now, we want to share our experience on scheduling process and procurement process, scheduling practice, what the stakeholders and clients want in the construction projects. Madam, you can go to the next slide for the contents, what we included in our presentation today. Can you hear me?
It is next. I have shared the next.
Good. Okay. So the content which we include in our today's presentation, we will discuss on the baseline. What is the baseline schedule in construction project, and how we can create or how we can prepare the baseline schedule. Then we will go to how we can update our progress. I mean, how we can update our schedule and why we are updating the progress in the construction project. What is the client requirement? What we have to do to have a good progress update and present it to the client. Then we will go to the procurement process. What is the procurement? In how it is playing a vital role in construction project. At the end, we will focus on the submittals. Since nowadays, as you said, as Madam said, now the construction industry is growing very fast. In complex project, in mega project, client required submittals. Whatever we are using in a construction project, we have to first submit to the client, and they have to approve it. What we are using, material, equipments, whatever we are installing in construction project, the clients or stakeholders who has the responsibility to review the material, so they need the submittal. So we will introduce what is submittal, and we will show some examples, some samples, what we are submitting to the client, and you will see the sample. Even I can provide the sample to Madam, then she can share later on. And whoever is interested to see the submittal, they will know how it is important and how to prepare a good submittal to the client. We will go to the next slide, third slide. Now we will come, as we said, first we will discuss on the baseline schedule. What is baseline schedule? So actually, baseline schedule is an approved copy of the project schedule. When we are starting any construction project, even other than construction project, any project, if it is required that we have to submit a schedule or a plan to the client, we have to prepare an initial or basic copy to the client. It is called a baseline schedule. What we are doing in baseline schedule? In baseline schedule, we show to our client how we can complete the specific scope which we get the project. So it has a specific scope. We are dividing the scope in it called WBS. We are dividing our scope in WBS, then in activity. Then we will submit in term of schedule to the client, and we are showing the client that we are starting from this point and we are finishing within the specified time by the client. So the basic form of the plan or the basic form of the schedule which we are submitting to the client and they are approving it called baseline schedule. If you see this figure, the yellow bars, it shows the base plan. Usually when we are submitting our baseline schedule, it is base plan. Then later on, we will go to the next slides. Later on, we will see how we are updating it. So in this slide, the yellow bars indicates that this is our original plan, which we discussed that it is the base plan, the base schedule or baseline schedule. So the red bars indicate that later on, when we are updating the schedule, so some activities will be little bit slept. That's later on next stage when we are updating the progress. So now our focus is the baseline. So the yellow bar here, the baseline. So it is initial plan which we are submitting to the client. Next slide, Madam. The fourth slides. The baseline schedule. It is not only the time. We have to create our budget, our mobilization plan, our resource allocation, in all the information which is required by the client. We have to submit it to the client. So when we are coming to the schedule, especially I am doing in P6, in Primavera P6. What we are doing, we are creating our plan. When we create our plan, we are allocating our resources. You know, the resources like material, like equipment, like manpower, like expenses, whatever we are planning in the project, we are allocating all the budget, all the resources, whatever we need, along with our schedule. So again, it is not only the time we are showing to the client. So whatever we need in the project, we have to baseline it. I mean, we have to plan it and show it to the client. So let's conclude the baseline schedule in 4 points. What need to be done? I said before, when we are getting a project, and so whoever is doing the scheduling job, the scheduling task, especially if the students join our webinar, they are in construction project management, they are going to be project manager, they are going to be construction manager. So the first job and the first responsibility they are doing for the client is the planning. And the planning, obviously, it is the schedule. The schedule we are preparing for the client. So it is the first responsibility from the project manager, from the construction manager. So the conclusion is what need to be done. So that we have the scope. For example, we are constructing a high-rise building. For example, 10-floor or 10-story building we have to construct. And the client specified the scope for us. Suppose we are a construction project. The client specified the scope. We have to break down that 10-story or 10-floor building, and we have to break it down. We have to make some activities. We have to prepare the plan. Then, once we prepare the list of activity, the list of WBS, what need to be done, then when will it be done? Then we have to make some logical relation. For example, first we have to do the foundation, then first floor, then second floor, then some brickworks, then some architecture works, then whatever need to be done, we have to make it some logical relation. Then who need to be done? Then we are coming to the resources. What resource we need to? For example, we need manpower, we need technical stuff, we need equipments. For example, we need excavator, we need grader, whatever we need in the project, we have to plan our resources. And finally, where will it be done? So it means we are doing this work in different disciplines. For example, civil work, like mechanical work, electrical work. So all these things we have to show in our baseline schedule. Probably some words like what is WBS, what is activity list, those things will be not much familiar with some of the participants in this webinar. As I said before, next webinars, we will come on some detailed topics like what is WBS and how to create it. So we will go for next webinar on these things. Now, we are a little bit generalized. I mean, our presentation is a little bit general. We are going to the slide number 5. We have created a flow chart from where we start. I mean, where we have to start to make a baseline schedule and where we have to finish in each step, what we need. Let me make sure, Madam, can you hear me, right? And you're on the...
Yes. Yes. Okay. I can hear you. Yes.
Okay, good. We are in slide number 5, and here is a flow chart. So again, all these things are based on my experience and the client requirements overall. Now I'm involved in projects in Afghanistan, in Gulf countries, in Nepal. So I'm involved in more than 5 countries in planning. Here we are working in Afghanistan, but I'm planning projects in many countries, more than 5 countries. Where all the clients required, all the clients which we are dealing with, this is the requirements. So let's start on the flow chart. In the flow chart, we need, for example, first we want to plan, create a baseline schedule for a project. What we need, I mean, what client provided for us. So obviously it is the drawing, it is the scope of work, it is some flow chart or the specification. So it calls project documents. In project documents, we have to review all the project documents, and we will make sure what we need to be done, or the scope of work will be clear for us. Then identify task. As I said before, once we review all the project documents, we need to break it down. For example, again, first floor story building, high-rise building. We need to break it down in civil work, mechanical work, those things. Whatever is included in that project, we have to break it down. Then determine the duration. Once we listed out all activities, we have to create the duration. For example, how many days required to excavate the foundation? How many days required to cast the concrete of the foundation, and formwork and column for first floor, then again second floor until 10th floor, based on our example. Or it is a road. We have to divide our road on the segments, 1 kilometer, then second kilometer, then third kilometer. So whatever scope is given to us, we have to make some breakdown. So it is a general flow chart. Then once we determine the duration, we have to set some milestones. For example, the client is asking us, you have to finish first floor on this specific date. Then you have to finish the second floor on this specific date. Or you have to finish the civil work on this date, because they may need some requirements. Once we finish the civil work, probably another special contractor will come and they will do the architecture work on different contractor. So they will ask when you are going to finish the civil work. So it is depend on the planning engineer or who is doing with the scheduling task, how he can break down the work and how he can set the milestone. Then we will identify the dependencies. As we said before, once we prepare the list of activity, we will make some logical relation. For example, we are starting from the foundation, then we are doing some compaction work, then we are doing some form work and steel fixing and concrete work. This is the dependency. So everyone will know, and it is straight that what is the logical relationship or what is the logical dependencies within the activities. And at the end, we have to assign the resources, because obviously we are not able to do any construction work or any task without the resources. For excavation, we need equipment. For placing the concrete, we need concrete pump. We need a batching plant. So whatever we are doing in construction, we need resources. So we have to assign the resources to each activity. And these 6 steps is for preparation, the baseline schedule. Now our baseline schedule is ready for submission. Then we have to set baseline and we have to submit to the client and they will approve it. These 6 steps till 7, it is the process of how to create a baseline schedule. So again, if you have question at the end, we will discuss some question and answer. Probably you have question. We will go to the next slide number 6. Now, we discuss on the baseline schedule, why we need the baseline schedule. And if we don't have baseline schedule in construction project or in any other field, in electrical engineering or whatever you think, if you don't have base plan and we did not submit our baseline schedule to the client, what will be the problem? So let's first discuss on the benefits. What is the benefit of submitting the baseline schedule? You know, that once we submit our baseline schedule to the client and they approve it, that will be our roadmap, our base plan, and client will observe and will consider our progress based on the base plan. What we submitted, they will compare our progress to the baseline schedule. So first benefit is comparison of the plan in actual. You know, once we start the construction, probably some activity will be delayed, some activity will be finished earlier. Whatever is the actual work, it is not as like what we planned. There is some risk, some uncertainties, and that will affect our construction process. So the first benefit is we are comparing the actual work to the plan, and we are reporting to the client. Later on, we will discuss what we are reporting to the client and what client is focusing on that and what they are requesting and then they are asking us to focus on. So first benefit is comparison of the actual work with the plan. Second, performance of measurement and air value analysis. You know, a special and huge topic of earned value analysis. And if we find opportunity, we will go on next webinar and we will discuss on the earned value management, what is that and how we are, what we are doing in earned value analysis. So slightly we will say some points about earned value analysis. When we are applying the schedule, so client will see each activities. For example, each WBS, each activity, what was the plan and what we earned. For example, we plan to finish the foundation work on 5th February, for example, today, but still we completed 50%. So now client will see how many duration, how many days it will take, and how many percentage of the work it is we get. So that's earned value, and they will analysis on the WBS level, even on the project level, and they will give. We will report to the client, and they will feedback on our report. For example, this is these are the weak points, and they will comment us. And the third benefit is improving future estimate. If you are, for example, in the 50% of the project, we will estimate the future. For example, the remaining time, the remaining job, how many days or how many months we require to complete the remaining job. For example, 50% work is remaining, and as per the baseline, 50% of the duration is remaining. So is it enough to finish that 50% in the remaining duration, or we have to ask the client to extend the time? So these are the benefit. So if we don't have the baseline schedule, what will be the problems if we don't have it? So obviously, inadequate resource planning. We will not plan our resource properly because we don't have plan, and we don't know how many labors we require for the specific task. And we don't know how many equipments we need because we don't have plan. Delay on the schedule. So once we don't have the plan, how we can compare the actual progress with the plan? So we don't have the plan, so the schedule will be delayed. Quality management problem. If we have the plan, for example, concrete work, and we are pre-planned for some concrete placement, obviously the quality department will plan some tests. For example, slump test, temperature test, and cylinder crushing test, whatever is required for the concrete test, or any mechanical testing, ducting test, those all will be planned. But if we don't have the plan, the baseline schedule, the quality problem will be arise because we don't have plan for the testing. And problem in change management. You know, change management is a vast topic in construction, especially. If we are adding something in a project, during construction, something will be added, and the customer, the end user, will request for some changes, and that changes will be incorporated in the project. But if we don't have the baseline schedule, change will come in the project without any pre-plan, without information the client, anything. These things will be problem. But if we have a baseline schedule, we will revise the baseline schedule. We will incorporate these changes in the project. Everyone will be in the picture that these change happen to the project, and we are revising our plan. Then customer and stakeholders dissatisfaction. So if our construction progress is delayed because of not having a baseline plan or a roadmap in the beginning, so it is clear that the customer or all stakeholders will be dissatisfied because project will be progress will be delayed, and it is not going as it is planned in the beginning. And finally, poor performance or inadequate progress in performance reporting, because we are reporting based on the plan we prepared in the beginning. But if we don't have plan, the report will not be as it is required by the client. We will go to the next presentation, slide number 7. So the next topic, we finished about the baseline schedule, and we discussed about the benefits in what is baseline schedule and the problem if you don't have the baseline schedule. Now we are starting our construction. When we are starting our construction, we have to update our plan, update our schedule. As I said before, for example, we are constructing a 1 kilometer asphalt road, and it was planned to finish within a month. So now our base plan or baseline schedule been approved. Now we are starting our construction. So if you have experience in construction project have lots of uncertainties, lots of risk, which we don't know in the beginning, which we don't know when we are preparing the baseline schedule. When we are starting the construction, so those uncertainties will be appeared. So obviously it will affect on our construction progress. And the construction progress is not going as it is planned. For this is the only reason we have to update the progress, and we have to inform the project stakeholders, especially the client, how the construction is going on. If it is not going based on the plan, so we have to revise the plan. We have to take some measures how we bring our progress within the plan. If it is good, so everyone will be happy, no issue. So when the construction work is on the project is going on in the progress, the plan need to be updated with the actual start or finish date. So one thing, and the more important, we have to update our progress with the actual start and finish dates. As I said before, for example, we plan to start the foundation work, for example, from 1st February to 5th February. It was base plan. It was in the baseline schedule. But actually, when we start the construction, due to some uncertainties, we start the foundation work on 4th February. I mean, 3 days late because of some problem. And then we finish that at the, for example, on 9th February. So there is a delay, 3 days delay in the beginning and 4 days delay in the finishing date. When we are updating the progress, we have to update it within the actual start and finish date. Then actual work in place, how many work we achieved. For example, today's 5th February, we placed the foundation 10%. So we have to update the progress with the actual start and finish date, and we have to update the progress, how much work we achieved, then how much work is remaining. All these things are important parameter or important factors when we are updating the schedule. So below is listed out what we need, what is important information when we are updating our schedule. For example, these things I listed based on my experience, because I'm dealing with these parameters, with these factors every day. Actual start and finish date, we have to update, as I said. Activity progress, how much we got. Either it is units, either it is physical, either it is duration. So these three things will be a little bit unfamiliar with some of participants. We will discuss on the next webinars that how we are updating the progress. Since time is limited today, we will go slightly on the next points. Then the remaining duration. How many days we require for the remaining job? For example, 90% of the foundation is remaining. Do we need 5 days? Do we need 4 days? Or do we need the 3 days as it was planned in the beginning? So it has to be updated. Then manpower and equipment, actual hours. How many we spend, the number of hours, the number of manpower or equipment in the construction project. Then actual expenses. For example, we plan some specific amount for the foundation, but now it is the actual cost or actual expenses is a little bit different. Either it is less or it is more. So these are the benefits, not benefits, the main factors when we are updating the progress in the construction project. We will go to slide number 8. We have shown a figure here. For example, some activities. So you will think on your project, either it's construction, either it's electrical work. So you will think about your project. For example, hello?
Yes, you can go ahead.
Okay. So now, when we are updating the schedule, for example, there are some activities. Activity number 1, for planning the meeting, it is 100% completed. Activity number 2 completed. Number 3, 75% completed. And number 6, 60% completed. Again, to next activity and the remaining activity. With this method, with this way, we are updating our plan. So now, either you are working in Primavera, either you are working in an MS project, either you are working in a simple bar chart in Excel. So in a specific date, in a specific data date, you will update your progress in the activity you plan in the beginning. And your progress either will be on plan as you plan, or behind the plan, or ahead of the plan. But you have to update and you have to focus on the factor and the parameter which we discussed in the previous slide. We will go to the next slide. Now, very important for the construction practitioner who is dealing with construction planning, or site engineer, or construction manager, or project manager. When they are updating the plan, the question will be arise: how we will get the information? Where the information will come from to update the schedule? So probably in a construction project, we will have more than 2,000 or 3,000 activities. So one of the project I'm dealing with, the number of activities more than 3,000. So one will ask, so suppose I'm planning engineer, and how I will get these information if I'm updating my progress on weekly basis to the client? And this is the project requirements. I have to update my schedule on the weekly basis. So it is difficult for me how to know about each single activity in the construction project. There will be lots of activity. So I have introduced the source of activity. And what I'm dealing now today is in my project, I'm getting the information from these things. The first thing, the first document or the first reference which I'm looking to is the quality control daily reports. So in all projects, especially in construction project, we have a quality department, and the quality department is one of their responsibilities preparation the daily reports. And the daily reports, all the information related to the project, it is there. What we did today and how many percentage of the specific activity been completed. If you are going to the project site, good. If you're not, you have to look to this daily report. Then we have to have a walkthrough in the construction progress related activity. We have to go to the site and we have to see some portion of the work, and then we have to update our plan. For example, what we have done today or what we have done this week, and we have to update the progress, and we have to update, submit it to the client, and we have to inform them we are in this stage as of today. Then project team daily or weekly meeting. So probably project will have different requirements. In some project we will have daily meeting. In some project we will have weekly meeting. In weekly meeting we are discussing the progress issue, and we have to get the information, and we have to update our plan. Then test report, risk management discussion, schedule, and inspection. Again, all these things are related to project. We have to get the information from test reports, from risk management discussion, and we have to get our information, and we'll update the schedule. Then change management process, addition or deletion. Whatever is added to the project, we have to get the information. And if anything is deleting, we have to get the information. Again, that's related to the change management. It is different. It is a separate discussion, but we have to know about these information. Then material management and procurement cycle. When we are participating as a planning engineer, as a construction manager or project manager, we have to we have to be involved in the procurement meetings and procurement discussion, which we will discuss later on in next slides. What's procurement? And we have to get the information, because the construction schedule or the construction plan is not only about the construction. It is about submittal, it's about the approval, it's about the material delivery. All these things have to be included in the construction. So we have to know about the procurement completely in order to update our plan, in order to update our schedule, which we are dealing with in our project. Then finally, resource availability. We have to know about the resources. If the resources are available, the construction will go good, smoothly. So we have to know about the resources in order to update our schedule, in order to update the information related to the resources. So these are the main resources. We cannot say main resources, but actually I'm dealing with these, the information. We can get the information, we can get the update from them, and we can update our schedule. We will go to the next slide. However, the construction daily report was not part of our discussion, but I bring this to the newly fresher who is joining the construction project, or who is dealing with the construction, or what is my experience in the project, and when I'm seeing the daily reports. I said before, we have to get the main information from the daily reports in order to update our schedule. What is the daily reports and what is included in the daily reports? I will share the sample. I will send to Madam to email. Unfortunately, I was not able to share my screen in the beginning because I collect all the, for example, sample baseline schedule, sample updated schedule, sample daily reports, which I'm doing in my project. Anyway, at the end, I will send an email, and Madam can share that reports to participants who want that. So again, what is daily reports? Because we are getting the main information related to our schedule from that DQCR or daily QC report. So what information included in daily reports? Obviously, there is project name, project information, weather information, because weather will affect the construction progress, and finally, consequently, our project progress. So these information have to be in daily reports, activity in progress, and location. This information will be, this is the main points which we are getting for updating our schedule. Safety information, some meeting related to safety, construction. So these listed things will be in construction daily reports. And it is good. Who is newly joining to the construction project, they will have an idea which information is needed in daily reports, and they have to know about the daily reports. We are going to slide number 11. The main information, like before we said, if we don't have a baseline schedule, what will be the problem? Now, if we don't, why we are updating the progress and what need to be reported to the client? It is very important because we are updating the schedule, our plan, we are updating the progress, and we are then reported to the client. So why we are, what need to be reported? Reporting the progress to the project stakeholders. Stakeholders will be one of the benefit of the updating the progress. All the stakeholders, the stakeholders or those people who are affecting or going to be affected by the project. Anyone who is directly or indirectly involved in the project, they called stakeholder. So when we are updating the progress, we are updating the plan, all project stakeholders will be in the picture. So they will know as of today or as of this week, what is the project status? Are we ahead? Are we behind? What need to be done? So one of the important point or the benefit of the updating the progress is stakeholder will be in the loop of the information, how the project is going on. Then if the project is not on track, for example, we reported as of today, as of the 5th February, we reported today project is 1% behind. So we need to have some, we need to take some measures, how we bring the progress within the plan. So if it is 1% late today, next week will be 2%, third week will be 3%. So it is not good practice. Then we have to bring our actual progress on track. So more important that why we are updating the progress is this information. We have to inform the stakeholders and we have to know about the status of our project. If there is any issue, any blockage, anything, we have to eliminate it and we have to smoothen the progress as planned. So we are going to the next slide, slide number 12. Content of the progress report. What need to be, for example, we updated our progress on the weekly basis and we are reporting to the client. What is the content of the progress report? Like before we said about the daily report, it was not part of our discussion because it is not that much related to the schedule, but I bring it because of some new freshers who are newly joining to the construction project. Now, when we are updating our progress, what are the basic information? What are the main points we are including in our progress report? First, project information. The scope is specified, and we have to specify the project. This is our project in the beginning, project name or project description, those things. Then, Manpower report, today, and safety incident information. These things have to be included in our progress report. progress report is not only the updated schedule. Updated schedule is part of that, but based on the updated schedule, all the information is related to the project will be updated. That's why it is not only the project schedule. All these information will be included in the project and in the project progress report. Then manpower histogram, recent start or finish activity, those things, all these things will be reported in the project progress report. Then submittal information within the reported week, what submittal been submitted, what we get approval, and what material been delivered to the site. These information have to be in the progress report. Then progress curve. In the next slide, you will see what is this curve, what all these information we included. And we are already reported to the client on the weekly basis. And our client is foreigners. I mean, they're from European countries, USA clients, USID, those clients or requested this information in our, they required this information in our weekly progress reports. Then project site photos. If you are attaching some photos that will indicate the progress is to this point, will be good. We will go to then slide number 13. These are the some information which I get it from our weekly reports. Madam, are you on slide number 13?
Yes, I am moving the slides, but maybe it is not visible to the viewers.
I'm on. I open my presentation.
No issue. We have last 5 more minutes. We have last 5 more minutes. So if you can share and you can explain.
Yeah. Okay, last 5 more minutes. I will explain. So these things will be part of the progress report. You see histograms. You see S curve, some photos, and some information about the manpower which we are contributing in the project. Then important discussion we said in the beginning is procurement. What is the procurement? Procurement is procurement management include the process necessary to purchase an acquired product or service or result needed from outside to the project. You know, in complex project, we will need some material which is not available within the country. For example, you are implementing a construction project within India. In India, you require to install some plant. For example, water purification plant, but it is not available in India. You have to deliver, you have to bring it from US, you have to bring it from a very far country. So how you are planning this and how this will affect to your construction schedule. So we discuss about the now in this line, what is procurement? Procurement management is include all the process necessary to purchase some material which is not available within the country. So we are starting from the submittal. For example, you need that water purification plant in your project. First, we have to submit that information to the client. Then the client approve it. Then we have to start the procurement. We have to do some contract. We have to do some partial payment, those things. Then once we finish the procurement in the production, then we have to plan for the transportation. So all these things will be planned in the construction schedule. In next slide number 15 in my presentation, here I open it. There is a flow chart. There is a flow chart. I prepared a flow chart. So when you need some equipments in your project, you have to find the required material. You have to look to the market. International, for example, you have to look to the international market and you have to find the material where this material is available. Then as I said, you have to submit it to the client in terms of submittal. And I will share the sample of submittal, what is exactly the submittal. Then client either will approve it or reject it. If it is rejected, you have to submit the alternative. So they reject this material, you have to submit next material, same to the requirement. And if it is approved, you have to do the procurement. Like I said, you have to issue the purchase order, PO. You have to do some contracts, some partial payment, and you have to start the fabrication. Then after the fabrication, you have to do the delivery because, for example, if you're bringing something from US to India, it will take more than 1 month. So obviously it will affect the schedule. So you have to plan the delivery. You have to, delivery will include dispatch, transportation, custom clearance, all these things, and finally arrival to the project. And if you look to the down, to the vectors, Submittal process, it is like based on the requirement, the length of the vector. Submittal will take little time because you have to look to the market. Then approval, for example, will take less time. Then procurement will obviously take more time because there is production, there is a partial payment, there's contract, those things, and finally the delivery. In next slide, slide number 16, there is I make it like a small schedule or some bar chart, some activities. For example,
sorry for the interruption, but we need to finish within a few minutes, 1 or 2 more minutes. So if you can end with some details.
Okay, so it is almost done. Just only submittal in construction is remaining. Submittal in the construction. If our time is finished, the last discussion was the submittal. So unfortunately, if time is not available, I will share the submittal sample. So just give me 1 minute. I will discuss about the submittal. You know, in complex construction project, if we are installing or if some equipment or material is required to be installed and it is complex material, we have to do the submittal and we have to inform the client that this things is we are doing, we have to do the installation of this specific material, and we have to submit that to the client in terms of sample or in terms of product data, product specification, those things, and client need to be approved. So there are lots of like different type of submittals, and there's a flow chart from where we start the submittal. So that's not that much hard. If you look to the flow chart, you will easily know from where we are starting and where we are finishing the submittal. So different type of submittal: construction submittal, design submittal, shop drawing, product data, test reports. All these things will be in construction. In many projects in today's construction industry, 90% of the project required submittal, and submittal is part of the project schedule because we have to plan the submittals, and it will obviously, if delayed, will affect the construction progress. Thank you very much. Unfortunately, we did not have sufficient time to discuss in detail, and I hope for next webinars we will discuss on specific topics if you want, if you're interested, and I will share my more experience. Now we will take the time for the question, if you have any question.
Yes, if time permits, we can take the questions, or else I will take the questions from viewers and then I will mail it to you. So if possible, you can answer their questions through mail or WhatsApp. And
okay, good.
On behalf of Civil Engineering, I thank you for sharing such an vast experience and spending your valuable time for our students. And we will be conducting such more webinars in coordination with you because you are having a lot of experience and, or I can say industry experience, on-field experience, and that is very much required for the students who are undergoing construction project management courses. So again, I thank you for spending your valuable time, taking your time out from the busy schedule and giving such a informative session, conducting such a good webinar, and looking forward to see you for more webinars. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
And
thank you. Thank you from you all stuff. Sorry for interruption. And providing such opportunity for me, and it was honor for me sharing my experience, and happy to share my experience with the university where I was 2 years in Gujarat is looking as a second home for me. I'm happy. Thank you again.
Thank you viewers also for listening patiently because we have started little late, and if time permits, then we can continue with the next series of this webinar. So thank you and have a good day.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you.